Okay, this is a bit of a serious news, or rather serious concern. I'll put the links down below. I want you to check them out, and this is from Reuters. Okay, so it's not like Al Jazeera, which is people say anti-UAE. It's from Reuters. This is what it says. They told us they hate Africans. Hundreds detained, deported from Abu Dhabi. It's an article on Reuters by, hey doggy, who are you? Hey doggy, come on. No? Okay. I like dogs. Okay. By a journalist named Maya Ghibli. Okay, whatever. So African workers in Abu Dhabi are arrested and deported in masses. Rights groups say their deportation were illegal. UAE says 376 men and women were detained for various offences. Okay, let's give UAE the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they are legal or illegal, or maybe they were doing something wrong. But let's read the article. So the article is dated September 2nd. Kabirat Olokunde, a Nigerian migrant worker, planned to spend her birthday with her friends in the city of Abu Dhabi. Instead, she turned 28 in a frigid prison cell, one about 700 Africans imprisoned by Emirati authorities. Now, I had been shared plenty of links, not plenty, three of some TikTok or some video where this African guy saying they jailed us, or they didn't pay us, or there was a protest. So I didn't bother much about this because I thought this is a one-off thing. But then when Reuters mentioned this now, it seems to be, I don't know, maybe they don't like Africans, or maybe there is some problem with Africa, or I don't know. Is it Expo 2020? If any one of you knows something, just let me know. Okay. In unparalleled mass arrest, the workers were jailed with no legal justification on the 9th of June 25th, and later being deported, said Impact International for Human Rights Policies, Euro-Mediterranean Human Rights Monitor. I celebrated my birthday in chains, no mattress. That is common in UAE prisons. You sleep on the floor. Okay. Olokunde said by phone from Nigeria, city of Laos, where she was deported on August 3rd without access to her belongings. Oh, by the way, this is not lately. I remember 1.5 years ago or something, an African lady was telling me that her husband, businessman in Ajman, was just rounded up and taken, and she has no idea why and all that. In fact, one of the girls who was dating, okay, I can't give you her identity. She had this African husband of hers who liked a Muslim page or something, Muslim Brotherhood. They picked him up and they put him behind bars for almost, I think, 10 years or so. She was a good friend of mine, so I know firsthand that they have this thing about, I don't know, maybe they don't like Africans or something. And they released him and they found out that he was innocent. He just liked a page. Okay. I still have the trauma in me, added a single mother who is now jobless after working as a bus attendant in caretaker in Abu Dhabi, a regional trade and tourism hub that is part of UAE. People recognize only Dubai. So that's why when they say Abu Dhabi, people are like, where is Abu Dhabi? So it's the capital of UAE, they have to say. But I sometimes wonder, a bus conductor or caretaker, what do they have, like what will they do? They are harmless. I don't know, maybe it's because there are a lot of Nigerian and African scammers. See, I'm playing devil's advocate. Okay, and I know this for a fact. In Nigeria, there are many scammers. Why? Because I used to get calls. I want to do personal branding. I'm a scammer. I'm not joking, huh? Actual. I even got, the news of these African gangs. They just take the guns, and in Sharjah, they try to rob an exchange. They try to rob a gold chain store. They try to rob even Lulu. So, I don't know, maybe crime is very high with the African countries and African nationals. I'm just assuming, okay? You tell me if I'm wrong. Then, where did it? Here it is. Problem with this is this just flies off. Okay. An Interior Ministry statement on Friday, the UAE said it had detained 376. If whatever number they give, you can multiply it into double or triple the times because they'll never give you the exact number. They detained them for offences related to human trafficking, which I kind of believe is true because a lot of Africans who are into this line of work. Okay, extortion, assault, acts on contrary public morality. I agree with UAE on this, that not all, but there are many. It said that some of them, most of them deported, but another 50 remained in prison due to lack of travel documents. See, when you're being deported, it's much better than being kept in prison. So in a way, I would say UAE is doing a good job, not keeping them in prison and making them suffer. Because let's say there is a COVID outbreak and you are in prison. They'll keep you there until maybe you die. They can do that. So instead of being in prison, they're letting you go. So there you have to be grateful. But why they being arrested and all that, that's a very big question. And another thing is, the reason the mystery remains is because nothing is being mentioned. Check Gulf News, Khalij Times, National. Check 1 year. How many places have they mentioned that they rounded up all these people? It's kept in secrecy. The Abu Dhabi Government Communications Office and Nigerian Embassy in Abu Dhabi did not respond for requests for comment on the rights group. Yeah, because you pay money, nobody is bothered. Everyone will keep quiet. Human rights groups have previously documented the imprisonment of hundreds of activists, academies, lawyers in the UAE, often following trials on vague charges. The UAE has dismissed those accusations as false and unsubstantiated. By the way, did you notice one thing? There is this human rights fighter whose article was published in Gulf News, but she only talks about British and Western and whites or American nationalities. She'll only speak on whites, and specifically on UK citizens. She'll never speak on Africans, she'll never speak on Indians, she'll never speak on poor people. Why? You know who I'm talking about? If you know, great. That lady is also another crook, so just be careful. Okay, so they target only whites because it's more profitable. There's big money there. Africans, if you start fighting for their rights, they're poor people. Bangladeshis, they're poor people. They don't have money. So be careful who you think is your friend. Then it says racially motivated. The UAE is home to 10 million people. Most of the 80% who are expatriates who send remittance back home, according to United Nations. Workers from developing countries often live in shared residences in Abu Dhabi, which is, according to Abu Dhabi law, is illegal. You earn only $200 a month and your rent is $1,000 for a studio. What do? You have to share, right? And then if you make it illegal, where are people supposed to sleep? And that is why they only offer them accommodation maybe 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers far away from the city, because they want to keep only rich people in the neighborhood, which is inhuman. Okay. Workers live in shared residences in Abu Dhabi with separate wings for nationalities, like Lajim, where Olokunde was arrested. I guess people of similar communities like to be together. Like I told you, I'm playing devil's advocate. Muslims like to be together. Christians like to be together. Maybe Christians eat pork. Muslims don't like pork. Indians like to be huddled together. Africans like to be huddled together. I don't think there are very many Indians who want to be huddled with Africans, or Pakistanis who want to be huddled with, let's say, Filipinos. Filipinos wouldn't want to be huddled with Pakistanis. Anyway, this is just my opinion. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying anything that is, oh shit, shocking. It's a fact. Because Filipinos like crispy pata. You know what is crispy pata? Fried pork. Just imagine a Muslim Pakistani sitting there and you're eating pork in front of him. Not a very pleasant sight. African and Asian workers have highlighted stigmatization and racism in the past. But the two groups have said the June raid was a marked escalation. The scale of this radically motivated deportation is completely unprecedented, said Michela Puglisi, a migrant researcher at Euromed Monitor. The victims and other migrants who aspire to work safely in the UAE have this right unjustly revoked. It's a consequence to be felt for years to come. Everybody knows Saudi and Kuwait, and see, Kuwait, the way it treats its migrant workers. There was that video of that female maid hanging from the balcony, and then she fell down. Luckily, she didn't die. Then there is one, you see videos of Saudi locals beating up Pakistanis and Indians, calling them dogs and all that. This mentality is very common. Why? Because they earn in oil. Their countries think the Arabs are superior. But these very Arabs, when they go to UK and US, they dress up with shirt and pant. They look like Bangladeshi laborers. They're very quiet there. But when they come back to their country, they wear their kandura and like sheikh, they will walk. Not saying all the Arabs, majority. I know so many Arab females who will wear the abaya and Allah and this and that. When they step into the aircraft, they're going to land in bloody UK or US. Oh fuck, full cleavage and full, they'll show their ass and this and that. Double standards, Baba, double standard. Why do you think so many Arabs come to third world countries? They get nice boom boom, where they don't have to talk Allah. Just go, Allah Akbar together. If you think I'm telling lies, you tell me. Tell me where I'm wrong. The investigation based on interviews with more than 100 migrant workers found that Abu Dhabi Rapid Intervention Forces SWAT, Criminal Investigation Department CID and police carried out mass arrests in at least 4 apartment buildings. Maybe there was some information that was stripped off that these people are dangerous or drug dealers, or some of them are. So they didn't know who specifically, so they rounded off everyone. The subsequent forced deportations were illegal. Puglisi said, as many workers have valid residency permits, work visas, and were detained due to process or access without any access to their personal property. Friday's Interior Ministry said that the deportations were conducted in accordance to legal procedures and with the knowledge of workers' home countries. Well, like I said, UAE, it's better that UAE doesn't keep these people. Imagine if you have a family member, would you rather have the person remain in jail and rot and die, or send back to your home country? So UAE is at least doing something good. But if they are illegally scooping up people, that is not good, because to come to UAE, people pay so much of money, and then to be deported, I mean, they lose all their money, no? They borrow money, sell off their land. Stun guns. Migrant workers told researchers that arresting units use excessive force against them, including stun guns, touch women's bodies inappropriately. Well, when you're conducting a raid, you're not going to say, please can I touch you there and all that. They're all bullshit. Olokunde said she was arrested in shorts and bra and not allowed to dress before being transported to jail. Well, she must have been relaxing in her room. While she and other women went on hunger strike to demand justification for their arrest, they were chained for 7 days, including on her birthday, she said. 2 workers who spoke to Thomson Reuters Foundation said they slept on floors in large group cells and were not given masks against COVID-19 infection, which is true, because I know some people who were arrested and who later on went back to their countries. They sent me these mails. So this is true. In jail, the report said detainees were denied access to healthcare, sanitary pads, even while women had their periods. I've not spoken to any woman who has told me this specifically. I've spoken to men mostly, and men did tell me that the conditions are appalling. They don't give a fuck. They'll just give you some bread, rice, whatever, and you have to manage. The human rights group said that detainees are not granted access to lawyers and told why they have been arrested, but some were indirectly accused of prostitution, which is a crime in UAE. There can be a possibility that some of them were involved in this. During a brief interrogation, Olokunde said she was asked, how much do you charge for a massage? Well, maybe she was staying with the other people who are doing massages. Maybe she herself was doing. We don't know. Okay, here's the thing, we don't know. Now, if you go to a country where all this is allowed, it's not a crime. But the thing is, now I know what you'll say. In UAE, all this takes place. Yes, I agree. There are prostitutes, there are massage parlors. But then remember, when they want, they'll make it illegal. And if they choose to ignore, they'll ignore. So, like I said, there's 2 sides to the story. Let's not just bash up UAE. Secret campaign. According to Human Rights Watch, HRW, migrants are entitled to challenge their arrest in the country of residence. The abuses outlined demonstrate that migrants have their rights to due process violated, and their detention conditions could amount to ill treatment, said Ratna Begum, HRW's women rights researcher in the Middle East. Well, provided they get both sides. Like, here's my question. If a female was practicing prostitution, how do you know that she was? How do you know she wasn't? How do you know she's telling you the truth? They'll always try to portray themselves as innocent, right? It's horrific that the UAE authorities appear to be conducting a secret campaign of mass arrest of African migrants without clear legal basis for such arrest or detention, she added. Kenneth Rubangankini, a 31-year-old Ugandan clerk who lived in Abu Dhabi since 2017, said he was taken from his Lajim apartment to a prison. He said the guard scanned his fingerprints, retinas without explanation, changed his hands and feet for 3 days, and imitated the sound of couple having sex, asking if he ever heard such noise in Lajim. They told us Africans are spoiling their country and they want to get rid of Africans from the streets, and we Africans are stupid, he said. Yeah, prison guards, don't expect them to say, we love Africans and don't worry, you're my brother. He was deported from Dubai International Airport on July 29th, according to a printed booking confirmation that said that he shared with Thomson Reuters Foundation, which he said was given to him by prison guards. It was so shameful at the airport. You arrive in a prison uniform in prison sandals. The Ugandan embassy in Abu Dhabi did not comment immediately based on request. Of course, you want to operate there, keep quiet and operate. Ruban Gankini said he has taken about 6,000 dirhams, $1,634 stuck in a bank account in UAE. He'll never get it back, which he cannot access as his bank card along with teaching certificates he'd need to apply for all jobs remained in his room. I came back with nothing, and now I'm starting from zero. What I think is happening is, one is this EXPO 2020 is coming, so they just want to clean up a lot of things. They want to ensure only quality, elite crowd comes there. Is there racism in UAE? Everyone knows there's racism. Let's not act like there's no racism. But more than racism, they just want people with money. They want to get rid of poor people. They want to get rid of anyone who is a liability. See, UAE will do whatever it feels right for its image. It may not be appealing to human rights. And human rights, what they'll do, they'll only focus on human rights. They'll not focus on money, economy. They don't give a damn. For them, only human rights is human rights. So, anyway, like I said, I want to give both sides of the story. I don't want to show that, only UAE is bad. UAE, see, if you keep quiet and mind your own business, do your own shit, and nobody knows, nobody will touch you. I stayed in UAE for, even after getting the tattoos for 8 years, nobody did anything because I kept a low profile. So I guess it's a question of that. But then when you stay in a mass accommodation and some people are doing illegal and when everyone's taking drugs and you're seated there, it can be that even, how do you know you didn't take drugs or you didn't initiate the process? Like I saw one video of this guy, African guy, who was at a party, held a party in his house. And then police CID came, raided the house. They arrested everyone. And later on they found out that 2 of his friends were into drugs. So they raided everyone. He didn't do anything. But now when you find 2 guys with drugs, everyone else is guilty by default, right? So anyway, I thought I would share this with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I like to keep it fair. So you let me know. What do you think? Is UAE just getting rid of Africans for Expo 2020, or this is a sting operation, or this is just racism? And if you're African, please do share your thoughts with me. I'd like to know what is your perspective. Having said this, this is me signing off. You guys take care.